Tasty, tasty. Tasty, tasty. Tasty, tasty. Tasty, tasty. tasty, tasty.
Hey folks, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. I hope you're having a really good Thursday. Let's catch up with chat, see what you guys have been talking about whilst I've been prepping and making a coffee. Frankie1001 got first today, congratulations. Basil the Mighty is here as well. Hello Basil. Rack, thank you so much for 31 months of subs. We have lit up the pink rocket ship just for you, buddy. Thank you so much for that. Cherry Waves Live is here as well. Thank you so much for being here, Cherry. Asks what everyone's typing on today. Today I'm actually using the Coca-Cola colorway GSK TGR 910 with GMK Classic Retro and stepped vintage bottom keys. So yeah, that's what I'm typing on today. Alan's here as well, and Pestilence, thank you so much for 22 months of subs as well. Let's light up that pink rocket.
Tasty, tasty.
As well. Thank you so much. He says, let there be light. And there is light, the pink rocket ship. Pestilence, as soon as that goes out, I owe you a pink rocket ship light up, so I will get on that in a second. Cherry Wave says, Alan says he's typing on a lime green NK87. Pestilence, there you go. Thank you so much for lighting up the pink rocket ship. It took a second to come on, but it's there for 22 months, dude. Thank you so much. Wolfie's here as well, subscribed for 31 months as well. We'll light up the rocket ship just for you in a second, Wolfie. Wait for that to go up. There we go. And it's back on now for Wolfie. Thank you so much, my dear. I appreciate that. Eamon, thank you so much for 10 months of subs as well. All the subs today, guys, you're coming out in force. It's kind of crazy. It's like 10% of all of our subs on the channel have just posted, so thank you very much for that. Eamon, I'll get that lit up for you in a second. And there you go. The rocket ship is lit up just for you, buddy. Thank you so much. Dixie Moose says, yo, using this more for support. We can't offer support on stream because I can't breach data protection or anything like that before I read the rest of your message. So if you need support, just drop us an email. That's the quickest way to get hold of us. Waiting parts last week. Wonder if there's been a delivery update. I have no idea who you are or what you're talking about. So yeah, like we have a lot of things that are waiting parts constantly. If you need an update, just drop us an email and we'll try and provide you one. Captain Reed is here as well, subscribed for 29 months. Let's light up the rocket ship for Captain Reed. Thank you so much, buddy. There you go. It is lit up. I hope you're doing well today. V-Rugdush is here as well, says good day, everyone. Eamon says, typing on the keyboard we built together, the Senna in marble red with GMK red line. That sounds like a great keyboard. I'd love a Senna in like bright orange, but I don't know if they came in that colorway. I think Lumia Stream is here. Yeah, the software posts like constantly. I don't know how to stop it doing that. I need to have a figure out and play with the bot at some point. Suited up and ready for a wedding here. Waiting on colleagues to arrive so they can cycle through my room. Okay, fair enough. Average Joe says, enjoy the wedding. Normally, Kalivi Castle has some great wedding food. Yes, I'll enjoy the wedding. Do you have a keyboard with metal keycaps we can hear? I love the look of the SF60HE, but not experienced metal keycaps. Do you know what, AS Canaris? I don't have a keyboard with metal keycaps on. I actually gave away my personal set of metal keycaps from Orkeys a while ago. The only set I do still own is the original metal Olivia keycap set, but they are at home, and my wife has them on one of her spare keyboards at the minute. So I don't have a set here that I could show you with metal keycaps on, unfortunately. If I did, I would absolutely do that. What I can tell you though is that they are slightly heavier than plastic keycaps, but not so much so. I might have an artisan actually here that's made of metal I can show you. No, I don't. I thought I might have done, but no, I definitely don't, unfortunately. But yeah, they are slightly heavier than a normal keycap. They tend to be, depending on how you build it with more switches, they tend to increase either the clack or the thock of your keyboard. They tend to increase the volume of that and be a little bit louder. They're usually cool to the touch unless it's a warm day and they've been in the sun, and they're generally really, really nice, but your mileage may vary. People like them, people don't like them. So but yeah, it's a great keyboard, and we wouldn't offer something on the website if I didn't think it was a good product. That's generally my rule. Apologies, I have hay fever, so my nose is getting a little bit stuffy. I apologize. Oh. Excuse me, I do apologize about that. Right, I do need to clean my glasses as well because there's some smudge on this lens and I can't see very well out of it. So I'm going to do that. Currently introducing a male guinea pig to our bereaved senior pig. Watching the hierarchy setting process is anxiety inducing. Oh, dude, I'm sorry that one of your guinea pigs is bereaved. I'm sorry to hear that, but I hope the rest of the troop are doing well. Just keep things clean. Look how weird and strange I look without glasses on. It just looks so weird without glasses because I never see myself without them. There we go. Right. Okay. Thanks for the detailed answer. I'm fellow hay fever sufferer. Yeah, it gets me every time this year. Do you know there's a drug called fexofenadine that has effectively resolved 98% of my hay fever symptoms, and I'm absolutely amazed by it. The past few years have been very easy compared to previous years. So yeah, that really, really has worked for me. But sorry to hear you struggle with it. Having a rare office day to get caught up on, well, everything. Stream while doing expenses go by quicker. Enjoy doing the expenses. Toro Studios here. Hey buddy, hope you're doing well, man. Says, where is my Kraze with ISO PCB? Well, the Kraze is here. It's actually due to go out to another streamer tomorrow because they were away for a few days, but they're now back. So I actually have time to build this. We did build the board a couple of weeks ago with the standard PCB in ANSI layout. I'll flick over to the top-down cam so you can see with DCS panels. But we are going to rebuild it with what I believe is the... I haven't opened it yet, but it should be in here. It should be the Monaco Keys Hot Swap ISO PCB. So we are going to rebuild it with the same switch as the Torero switch prototypes. I'll need to find one more, and I need to grab some stabilizers as well. We have a couple of things to do before we get that. I love the switch. Dude, the switches are fantastic. These are amazing. I can't wait to get more in. So yeah. Right, before we get onto that though, I do have a couple of things to tell you about. Yesterday we put in stock GMK Noel R2 and also GMK Pompeii, which I bought a personal set of last night. I was the third person to check out on my own store because some of you guys went nuts for it. It's silly that I have to buy stuff from my own store, but I do. So yeah, I have my own set of GMK Pompeii there. I'm going to unbox that and kind of show you guys it because it's got some cool effects. And then we'll do a little bit of talk about what's on the website, and then we'll crack into dismantling this PCB and plate and rebuilding the new PCB and plate. But I do need to go and grab a packet of... Oh no, I have a packet here. I have a packet of stabilizers here. I lied. I don't. I have a customer's packet of stabilizers there, so I don't have a packet of stabilizers here. So yeah, so that's the plan for today. So without much further ado, let me show you the GMK Pompeii, because I'm pretty impressed with how this came out. Don't need the bowl at the minute. In fact, I'm just going to pop the PCB snaps for the build in the bowl. Okay. So I did get all of the kits for this. First of all, how cool is this packaging? Super fun, super cool. One of the last projects ever by Control, but of course we were the lead vendor, so our logo is on the back of all of the boxes, which is pretty cool. There is a logo on the base. Let's get it opened and show you guys. Yours is still on the way. Nice. Yeah, I think most of the group buy orders will be delivered today, and then most of the in-stock orders from last night will be delivered on Friday or Monday. It's super cool packaging, right? I do need to get a tub for this so we can label it up. This is a GMK CYL Pompeii. It does have some really cool special features. I will show you when I show you the set Loopy Loopo. Just want to label up the box first, because I didn't label up a box the other day and I just put the keycaps in it. And then I had to go back and do the label later on, and it took me ages to remember what kits I'd got because I just chucked them in there. So for this one I have Base, Novelties, Lava and Ashes. So the Lava kit is a different F row, effectively, in number row. It's sort of like an alert row, but slightly different. Novelties, Lava, and Ashes. And Ashes is the secondary alphas. The glitter on Thunder God looks sublime. Dude, those keycaps have come out amazingly well on the prototypes for Thunder God. I am really excited for that set to make it into production. Sadly, it did not sell anywhere near as well as I was hoping it would do at PT, but hopefully it's done okay worldwide. There we go. So our box is now all labelled up. And let me show you what the key set looks like. So this is in stock. Sadly, all of the child kits did sell out last night when we dropped this in stock, but the keycap set, the base kit, is still in stock, so you can pick this up. Just again, quick look at that packaging. So cool. We've got the Pompeii authenticity card, which I like to pop in these. And then here is the keycap set. So this is not black, this is kind of like a reddish kind of greyish colour. You can kind of see that reddish colour on the keycaps. This is actually potentially going to look really, really good on the Coca-Cola GSK 910. But let me zoom the camera in just to show you the kind of colours here. So you can see that it's not quite a black, it's like a reddish black, and it's got this kind of effect in the legends of the keycap which almost make it look like flames or lava flowing. You can see the bottom colour there, look. It's kind of got the effects in it, so it looks like lava flowing. And it comes out really, really, really well in person. It looks like lava flowing when the light just catches it just right. And that's across all of the legends on the base kit. And you can see here that it looks like lava flowing. Super, super cool. Just the way it catches the light. Really, really, really cool keycap set. So this is the base kit, which is huge. Sadly, no, we couldn't do UK ISO for this one. Marbled Legend plastic effectively, yes, with a sparkle in it. So it's got like a sparkle. You can see here it's got the sparkle in it. That's like a golden glitter. So they're all unique and different. But it looks like on the Legends as though it's almost like lava flowing down the keys. It's really, really cool. You might be able to see it a little bit better on something like the numlock key. If I hold it like here. Yeah, the effects came out so nice for this. And even like on the space bars, like this color is not black. Do I have a? This is a CR black next to it, just for reference, so you can see it is. Oh, my camera's not bright enough to show you, but there is a complete difference in the color. You can see it's almost got like a reddish tinge to it. It's super nice. But we've got, hey man, good to see you. Logolicious as well. Hey, dude. Yeah, really big fan of this. Cheat a little bit. So yeah, it's like a reddish bronzish kind of colour. If you've got anything that's like a golden coloured board, or like a polycarbonate board, or browns, or anything like that, this is going to look really good. Copper as well, it looks really good with. It's just really hard to show you the colour cam. Let me see if I can get it in the face cam actually. Can you see in the face cam it's kind of like a reddish orange tint to it. It's pretty cool. I'll try and get some good photographs actually for it. Hence the Stevie Wonder questions. Yeah. You'll be able to see it better on some of the novelties in a minute, but the actual colour of these keycaps is to die for. This kind of like brownish tinged colour is so good. Look good with some subtle red backlighting. I'm not a fan of backlighting, but yes, it may look really good, or like an orange backlighting. Looks nice on the renders. Yeah, I don't think the renders did this justice. It is absolutely stunning, is this thing. And I think it's going to go on the GSK. If you've got time towards the end of the stream, I'll absolutely do that and put it on there to show you guys. I don't think I'm going to be able to fit all of the keycaps in this tub yet. Usually I can fit a few child kits in there, but I think I'm going to struggle to that because that's just a base kit and it's 2/3 full. So I might have to use a small tub as well, but we'll see. Right, okay, let me show you the novelties, because these actually came out great as well. These are the novelties. This one in particular shows Vesuvius with the lava flowing down. It's like the volcano and then the lava flowing, and it just looks so good. So good. Of course, then are the orange novelties as well, where you can see this really cool effect. I think I tend to prefer the dark novelties personally. Here's the same one in the dark. I think I prefer the dark novelties myself, but they all came out super nice. So yeah. And then we also have the lava, which is the Afro. I'll show you in a second. Cody Feo, hey man, good to see you. Just unboxing GMK Pompeii here in a minute. I'll have to tag Manu and tell him I'm streaming this because I didn't tell him, I forgot to tell him. And then here we have the Roman legend Ephros. Or number row, sorry. Not Ephro, I don't know why I said Ephro, I meant number row. So this is the lava kit. It comes with both types. So you can have just the hot lava, or you can have the standard, but with these Roman numerals for the numbers, which is pretty cool. And only seen in a handful of sets. I think Gladiator's the only other sets that use these molds, but they're really cool. Super cool. Absolutely adore these. Sadly, these did sell out straight away as well, so I can't share these with you or sell you these anymore. They have sold out, but the rest of the base kits are still in stock. But yeah, super stoked how this came out. The only thing I haven't seen in person yet, because I haven't opened them yet, is the Ashes Alpha kit, which are not going to fit in this box. So they're like a complementary grey colour. That's my door. I should go answer that, guys. Give me 30 seconds. I'll be back after answering the door. Sorry about that, folks. That was my landlord for this building knocking on the door. So I apologise about that. He's not a very happy chappy. So, hey man, thank you very much for being here. Okay, let me show you the spare alpha keys for this, because I haven't seen these in person yet. I got the bat for the knees. No. Just gonna zoom out a touch so I can get this in the shot. There we go. Why am I wearing sunglasses indoors? My glasses, I had to go outside. My glasses change in the sunlight, so they go dark in the sunlight. You'll see they'll get clearer and clearer and could be back to normal in a minute or two. He took the notice well. I gave him intention of the notice. He just came and said, I was just passing. I wondered if now was a good time for a meeting, and I told him no. So he's going to put back tomorrow. So these are the ashes. So as you can see, these are kind of like a soft, warm grey, almost with like a purplish hint to them. You know, they're super, super cool. Let me zoom back in, because if I hold them up too high, the light doesn't get on them. So you can see they have got this the same lava flowing effect on the legend. Oh my god, these are so nice. So nice. No, they don't go fully black, but they're they stop me getting migraines. That's why I wear them. But they are really good. These are really, really cool. Look how cool the legends look. You see in the different shades and the different shadows, they get kind of, they reflect the light differently. Super, super cool. If you look on the N and the M here, you can see how it's reflecting the light in the J. Super, super cool. Okay, I'm going to need a small tub to put these in. And hopefully the space bars will fit in the big tub. Let me grab a small tub. Could have been a full base. It almost is. It almost is a full base. I'm just going to have to put the space bars in the larger tub. But I think we're going to put these keycaps on the GSK 910. Maybe not today, but maybe on stream on Sunday. I'm just going to cheat. Much faster. I don't think the space bars fit in these smaller tubs. No. So yeah, cool. Okay, 3 space bars to go in the big tub. Just want to take a look and see how the how this color pairs up against the darker color in the base, just so we can see all the colors together. Oh yeah, that's going to look really good. I'm actually really excited to put these on the board. Just for some context on how it's all going to look. Yeah, super happy with those. Super, super happy. Excellent. Hopefully this is gonna fit. Just. There we go. Hey Liam, welcome to the stream. Okay, so that is GMK Pompeii. We should probably do the whole shilling thing now as well. Let me grab a web browser, and then I can do the whole shilling thing with you. Okay, so we put a ton of stuff live. Live group buys you may want to consider. The Kikobo Pixel 67 by Pixtendo. We think we can offer a UK ISO version of this, so watch out for that. I think it will come pre-built as UK ISO, which is pretty cool. We should be able to confirm that very, very soon. But this is a really cool board. Super, super cool design. Very, very cool. Comes in a variety of colors, LEDs, you name it. Big bezels, and of course we all like big bezels. Sloped front, nice rear, easy to assemble, comes pre-built, and it's £172. Absolute bargain. Absolute bargain. Yeah, I think I'm waiting for some messages to confirm that we can do UK ISO. If we can, there'll be another option in here for these. It'll be Silver System ANSI, Classic Beige ANSI, Terminal Green ANSI, Vintage Brown ANSI, or it'll be System Silver UK ISO. So watch out for that. We'll try and add that. You can pick your keycaps, switches as well. There's also the bare bones kit if you don't want the switches and the keycaps. You can get the bare bones kit. That's £136. Super, super bargain. Might want to have a look at it. The SF60HE is also in group buy right now. Again, this is really well priced, £163 including VAT. And this comes with metal keycaps as well. So it's not just a metal keyboard with this really nice front leading edge that's dipped down here. It's also metal keycaps as well. So yeah, you might be interested in that. DCS Mudbeam. DCS is quite possibly my favorite profile right now, and DCS Mudbeam is going into group buy. There will be a UK ISO kit for UK buyers only of the set. So if you want all of the keys being produced for this, you have to get it through us because no one else is offering those ISO kits. SWG TARs as well. This is the PCB we're going to take a look at today. This is the Hot Swap 65% ISO PCB. So this is the things that it supports. So it supports ISO and split left shift, 7U and 6.25U bottom row, split backspace or ANSI, and stepped or full caps lock. And that's what we're going to take a look at today. There's two versions of this. There's the MX one, and then there's the wireless version as well. So both of these will work with the Kraze65. Might be something you're interested in. In terms of pre-orders, we've shoved a ton of stuff live on pre-orders recently, such as Endpoint, Chocolatier R2, Emoji, absolute tons of stuff. Ball Pit, Ishtar R2. If you've missed any of the group buys, King of the Seas, for example, you can now pick that up. DCS Grass Valley as well. There are more pre-orders being added every week, so make sure you take a look at those if there's anything you've missed in a group buy that you'd like to see. And then in terms of stock drops, we've had a few things drop in stock recently. The GMK Noel R2, this is now in stock. Super cool pastel colors, really, really sweet little set. Everybody used to go nuts for this in both the GMK version and in the nice PBT version. Super nice set, might be something you want to pick up. GMK Pompeii, that's what I just showed you a few moments ago. It looks so much better in real life. You can see it's got this reddish brownish tinge there. That's the Alta Alphas that we showed you as well. Super, super cool set. absolutely knocked it out of the park, did GMK, in terms of producing that one. So maybe you want to pick up a base kit. Oblique R2s, these are selling almost sold out now, but these have been selling really well. So if you do want to pick up an oblique, there are very, very few of them remaining. My personal choice would be the light green and silver, but a lot of people have been going for the grey and this lovely red patina base here, this shiny flamed patina base. So that might be something you want to pick up. There are very few of those left. Maybe you want some new switches. The Pantheon Keys PT Black linear switches are great. 4-up stabilizers are back in stock. You know, take a look. Pangea Mini. How have we still got Pangea Mini R2s in stock? That beggars belief that we still have those in stock. Still a few kits left. Oh, they are starting to sell out. Look, okay. So there's very, very few kits left. But if you want a Pangea Mini, now is the time, I think, to pick one up. Okay, cool. Shilling done. I'll try not to shill any more than that. Just a little shill. Okay. See, my glasses are completely clear now, just because I was outside for a few minutes. Been getting more full base trade kit child kits recently. I didn't plan on my shelves for them. Fair, I understand that. Sometimes these things happen. Once again, Twitch doesn't notify me you're live. Goddamn, well, I'm here now. If you turn on Discord notifications, it also pings in Discord. If I see any sort of notification, I get anxiety, so I mute every server channel on that. Fair. Okay, well, that's when we drop stuff. So as well, you might want our notifications turned on for Discord too. I might get a bare bones kit when I get paid next month. Nice. Is that a broad arrow speedy you have on the wrist? Love the brown. If it is, yes, it is. I can show you that. Let me zoom in. This is a Omega Speedmaster broad arrow. It's the it's a vintage watch. With the crystal back. So there you go. Can recommend GMK Pompeii and Noel, says Jellymaster. Yeah, both are great. Oblique is fab. The Oblique is such an underrated keyboard. I don't know why it's so underrated. Like, it is. We have a pink one in the workshop, and the amount of people that gravitate towards it to type on it because of the angles and the way it's shaped, I don't know why they're not as popular as that. You should design a key set with the colours of that watch. Lovely. Yeah, I think it would work really well with like a nice golden colour and the chocolate brown, but then it'd be chocolatier, right? So yeah. Problem with this hobby is that when you see something nice, you see another thing that's nice, and that leads to another thing that's also nice, and before you know it, there's another thing that's really nice. But that's the beauty of it, right? So just to put that into context, years and years ago, when I first joined the hobby, 2012-ish, somewhere around there was like, I mean, group buys were barely a thing at this point, and custom keyboards were barely a thing. You could get aftermarket Cherry MX switches because this was before the Cherry patent had expired, and the hobby was basically people getting vintage keyboards and tearing them apart to put the switches and keycaps on other things. That was basically what the hobby was. There was a few people out in Korea that had done boards like the DK Saver, and OTD was kind of like producing stuff then, but there was very, very few custom keyboards being made. And then by the time we got to like 2014, 2015, we'd found manufacturers like Signature Plastics, and we'd found that GMK had taken over the Cherry mold, so we started to do a few group buys. I think the first year of there being actual GMK group buys, I think there was 4. And for the first like 2014, 15, 16, 17, maybe into 18, there was a lot of people like me who just bought every GMK set that came out because there was 4 or 5 or 6 a year. That's all there was. There was no huge numbers. So the hobby was really disparate, and there were like people used to clamor for nice things because the nice things were so far apart. There'd be maybe a one board group by a month or something like that. And there was like, you know, a few Signature Plastics things happening, like the early group buys for that as well at the same time. But you could conceivably make 2 purchases a month and buy everything that was released in a year for a couple of years. That's kind of how crazy and slow the hobby was. Whereas now, everything is pretty much on a shelf, or there is a constant cycle of new products coming into group buy. And you know, I don't think there has ever been a better time to be involved in keyboards as a consumer. I think there's been better times as a vendor, but as a consumer, I think there is so many more options available nowadays, and so many different things at different price points, that you can absolutely either go ham and buy a bit of everything, or really take your time and be curated about what you want. And that is a sign of a really strong market to me, that you can take those kind of things. So yeah. So buy all the things. Yeah, I mean, like, buying all, the more things you buy from PT, the more PT can offer, right? So if you buy more things from us, you are enabling us to then provide more opportunity for more products. So it's a win-win scenario. It's not just a case of you get nice things in exchange for money. It also means we can do more projects and bring more designers' visions to real life, and, you know, keep the team paid and pay people's mortgages and all of that kind of good stuff. So yeah, spending money is not a bad thing in this case. Plus, it keeps the economy going and all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, consumerism at its finest. But the beauty of the market is that we can now adapt more, we can change more, we can do more cool things. Like I was talking with Manu yesterday about my excitement for new textures in finishes. So if you've seen the Kraze, this has like a textured effect on the bottom that gives it that cool effect. You can feel that with your hand, and I think that texture is one of the big things that we don't actively work on. Everything is just either anodized aluminium, which broadly feels the same. There's some difference in terms of like Cerakote finishes and the level of grit that was used to achieve certain finishes, and of course like stainless steel and polycarbonate feel different, but we don't kind of amplify texture on keyboards as much as we should do. Sure, we do a little bit for keycaps, maybe a little bit for desk mats, but I think texture is the next big thing. I still remember the first set that got me into it, GMK Red Samurai. You know, yeah, GMK Red Samurai is a great set. Yeah, that was pretty early on in the hobby. Solely through Drop, I think, originally. Mr. Blackbrook is here. He says, Cowpork stream? Do you mean co-work? Not cowpork? I think you mean co-work stream. Good afternoon, Jay, and all your lovely chatters. Nice. Well, welcome, Mr. Blackbrook. That's really what I have done, a bit of everything, low to high end. Yeah, and I think that's great, because you can try things at different price points. You can understand where economies of scale come in. You can see what the hype is about for something really premium. And if you can't do that, just come to Prototypist on Keyboards and Coffee Day. We had a few people turn up this morning for Keyboards and Coffee, and well, it's interesting because the Kraze was there. People were trying out the Kraze before they put an order in, and the other thing that everyone kept gravitating towards was my TGR with Windbreaker on. So I think we've almost sold out of Windbreaker sets today. I think we've absolutely, I think like 4 people bought Windbreaker today. So yeah, we're dropping through that. So yeah. Aged aluminium as well. Yeah, aged aluminium is again something else that we could look at. And new materials. I want to try doing things in new materials. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. I have ideas. You haven't heard of Cowpork? Okay, boomer. Thanks, Chris. Yeah, I am absolutely a boomer. No, Windbreaker. Please tell me you got more. We won't get more unless it runs again, Liam. So like with everything, what we're selling now for Windbreaker is the extras from the group buy. So once they're gone, unless another group buy happens in the future, that's kind of it. And if there is a round 2, it's usually 3 to 5 years after the first round. Noel R2, for example, has just delivered and is in stock, and I think Noel R1 was 2020 from memory. So yeah, everything is pretty much limited edition on our site. Like once it's gone, it's generally gone for a long time. So yeah, that's one of those things. I mean, I don't want to tell people to like hurry up and buy stuff or anything. I hate to be that person, and I don't like doing it. But what I will say is, order early to avoid disappointment, right? If you order it early and you get it, you can't then be disappointed if it sells out later on. That's the trick, really. You know, but yeah, you got to do what you like to do. And you get it cheaper if you get it early. You absolutely do. In fact, I'm trying to lean into that on the website. Let me show you this. So one of the things I'm trying to lean into on the website is to make that more clear to people. that when you join a group buy, let me zoom in here so you can read this text a little bit easier. So this is a group buy. This means that the product has not yet been manufactured. This product will ship at a later date as detailed in the product description below. This is the lowest price we will ever sell this product for. The price will increase during pre-order and move to the full RRP price once it's in stock. We offer group buys at approximately a 20% saving in thanks for your patience. In other words, you order early, you have to wait a little bit for the product, but you get 20% off. I think that's a pretty fair deal. Why am I zooming in so far? There we go. So I'm trying to lean into that. So we've added that and making it really clear that it's a group buy, delivers after manufacturing is complete. You know, the checkbox is still there. And then I put these on as well. So like 750 group buys delivered successfully. I think it's actually over 1,000 now, so I might need to update that, but I need to triple check that number before I commit to it because I don't want it to be wrong. Things like worldwide shipping, orders being packed with care, and FAQs, and those change randomly as well. There's a few different ones. And it also puts some social proofs up here. So it picks my picture, and then a couple of random pictures from people's reviews, and has a fact in here. So this one is over 750 group buys successfully delivered. If we go to something in stock, I think that will change. Let's have a look at Pompeii, for example. Yeah, so over 3,000 monthly orders from keyboard enthusiasts worldwide. So that's a live number that will update. So it takes the last 3 months, averages the orders across the month, and then rounds it down to the nearest 1,000 orders. And again, picks a couple of images and my photograph as well. So yeah, and then for in stock, it shows here as orange if things are selling out quickly. It shows up here if it's selling fast, so you know when it's a bestseller or when it's not, just to try and help people understand whether they need to be worried about something selling out. That updates at the end of every day. So if that's on Windbreaker tomorrow, that's your nudge to go buy it before it goes out of stock. And then some facts here about delivered in 2 to 5 days worldwide. In-stock items shipped the same day if ordered before 2 p.m. Weekends or next working day if ordered after 2 p.m. or on weekends and holidays. Collection available. You can come and click on our store information. And this is where we are. This is the building I'm in right now. You can come and collect from us. In fact, I know someone's coming to collect this afternoon. So straight after we finish streaming at 2 p.m. Which reminds me, we do need to get on with this build because I've only got 45 minutes to do it. So I best not talk about all of the website changes and start cracking on with this build today. So first things first, I need to grab some tools, and then we're going to take this apart and take a look at the new PCB. But what I want to do first of all is take the switches and the stabilizers and I don't need stabilizers, I can just reuse the ones from this, and the keycaps off this board. So I'll be back in 2 seconds with some tools. "90 minutes is really not long enough to do a keyboard build stream because we're already 45 minutes in and I have done nothing. I need to get faster at this. That Pixtendo has put a stop for me for going for the Kraze. I mean, it depends on what your priorities are, but I think both are great options. Too much chatting, not enough building. Well, yeah, and the landlord popping by didn't help. That didn't help. That slowed us down a little bit. Do you know what I think I'm going to do as well? I'm going to try and be super quick with this. But I think we might change the keycap set if we have time. We enjoy the chatting more than the building. I think you guys do sometimes. I think you guys do. I think you come to this stream for the general chat and excited for the Ferrero switches. Yeah, me too. I mean, they won't look like this. They're going to be chocolate brown, but they do feel fantastic. So I was talking to Keevesaholic about them the other day. I'm pretty excited for them. Went for the build, stayed for the chat. Something like that. In the last 11 months, I've spent over 4K on PT alone. Nice, and I don't regret a single thing. I regret not having more money to spend. To put it into context, dude, it might make you feel better to let you know that that doesn't even put you into like the top 30% of our customer base. I did toy with the idea of the flavor text that I showed you a minute ago at the top, where it says over 3,000 orders a month, having one of the options for that a true fact, which is that our average customer makes 3 orders a month. That is our average customer makes 3 orders a month. And there were some other really cool facts that our average customer over 6 years has over 50 orders, which is insane when you think about it. The chat quality is better than the build. That's rough. I'd like to think that, you know, my builds are pretty good quality. They're certainly better than some other streamers that I see. Sometimes it's best not to know. Yeah. There's a jacket company that I've mentioned on here a few times called From, and I own a few of their jackets, and they have this this stat on their site that their average customer has 2 or more jackets, and it's kind of like insane statistics like that. Okay, slowly getting there. Once we've done this, we can take the switches out, and then we can quickly disassemble the stabs, take a look at the new PCB, drop the switches in. I'll need to grab a couple of switches. We'll stick with the same plate, I think, because I really like this plate. It feels lovely, and it sounds great too. But some places for sure I'd want to know, but considering how much I love keyboards and PT, I'm just happy my money's going to a good place. Oh, I appreciate that, man. We try our best. Fry meal mills are so dangerous. I am due a second. Dude, like, I have 5 jackets. I like the owner. I speak to the owner every now and again. He's called Nick, and he's a really nice guy. I keep meaning to. When I was driving past Bath a few months ago, and I almost dropped in to see them. Unfortunately, we couldn't quite get the timings to work. But as small business owners to small business owner, we do have some nice conversations at times. So yeah, so they are in my head the idea of success in the current economic market and climate. Okay, keycaps off. Let's get these switches removed. Just going to use the keyboard case here for the switches, and then once we've done this, we can then get our new PCB out and see if we can't do the build super quick. Mr. Bezic, good afternoon, sir. Things are good, thank you very much for asking. Even better, now we have solidified plans for the Formula 1 this year at Silverstone. I'm a very, very lucky boy, and I'm getting to go to Silverstone for the 2nd year in the row to see the Formula 1. Well, that switch went flying. I'll go grab that in a second. Just conscious of time, I'm just trying to be super quick with this without detrimenting the build quality. Should be good, yeah. Now you're free on the Friday as well. So one of the challenges for that Friday is, so just as a heads up, on Friday the 3rd of July, PT will be closed. I'll be announcing it next week. It's just one day, but unfortunately Mel can't work that day, and that's when my ticket is valid for the Formula 1. So I was originally planning to go down on the Friday evening and just see the qualifying on the Saturday and the race on the Sunday. But now Mr. Bezic is going with me. There is potentially the opportunity to go down and see free practice 3 on Friday as well. So we might have to have a look at timings. But PT will be closed that day anyway. Even if I'm here in the morning packing orders, unfortunately I just won't be able to be here when DHL and UPS do their collections, because they do that between 2 and 4 p.m. and I will absolutely have to be on the road by that point. So there is a slight chance that Sharon will be able to attend, but I haven't managed to have that conversation and schedule it in properly with her as yet. So we shall see. We shall see. But there is 90% chance PT will be closed on that day, which is annoying and frustrating, and I'm really sorry to any customers that will affect. But it will just mean that orders on Thursday evening through to Friday will be treated as weekend orders instead that week. But I'll put an announcement up on the website. I just hope shipping prices come down soon so I can buy more things. I've been hindered recently because of Trump and Co. Yeah, I completely understand that, dude. I think I know Mel was talking to you about it a few days ago. If anyone is impacted by the massive increase in international shipping prices recently from PT, and you want to try and merge some orders together or do some bits and pieces like that, please let us know and we'll try and accommodate it, because I can understand how frustrating it is. Okay, cool. Right, so let's take these stabilizers out. We're just going to reuse these rather than use the 4 wraps, just because it's going to be quicker and easier. And I'm conscious that I've only got 35 minutes of stream time left. I may not be doing the order a week or having 10+ group buys active at any one time. I'm just going to grab this. But I'm certainly being a bit more purposeful with my orders. That makes sense. I appreciate and understand that. Very glad I got the Thursday, Friday booked off. I'd probably be even more of a corpse than usual because I'm probably going to be getting home late evening after a 6-hour+ drive. Okay, dude. Well, you can sleep while I do the driving there. That's absolutely fine. You just get yourself to PTHQ and I'll get you to the F1. And then we can split the driving on the way back, maybe. Let's say I have a trip to America planned next year, so I have to be a bit more conscious of money. I'm only planning on maybe joining 1 or 2 more group buys before the year is done for me in terms of keyboard stuff this year. Nice. Okay, excellent. So we have the PCB disassembled. I'm going to put that to one side. And now I'm going to open up the PCB from Monaco Keys, and this should be the ISO PCB. He says, having not opened it at all. Okay, good start. We have a JST cable. We have the PCB, and what's this in here? Oh, it's a Monaco Keys keycap. Nice, thank you very much, Casper. Okay, so this is the MK65MX prototype version 0.2, so it's not the finalized production version, but it should be good enough for us to use in ISO layout. Now, I will need to swap the daughter board and JST inside this case. I may not have time to do that on stream because it is a different connector here. But if I don't have time to do it on stream, we will do it after stream. This is a PCB. ISO support, as you can see. Full RGB as well. And you can order this with your Kraze65. You can order the bare bones Kraze65 and then order the ISO PCB, and it will come with it. Designed by Quark. Pretty cool stuff. So let's get our stabilizers installed. So we need one for ISO enter. And again, I'm trying to be super quick here, just so we get it actually on stream so we can listen to it. Oops. Jay, come on. Come on now, what are you doing? This isn't like you. You're trying to rush. Slow is smooth, and smooth is fast. Hope the stabilizers will sit happily. Yeah, I think this has all been tested before. It should be fine, but we will see. No issues with the ISO enter stabilizer. We have full backspace. There's both ISO and ANSI enter hot swap sockets on by default, or some sweet PCBs you have to switch them by soldering. No, as far as I know, it's both are supported out of the box here, but I'll show you in a second. So for ANSI enter, you rotate the switch so that it all fits nice and neatly. Hope that makes sense. Okay, that's our backspace done. And then the only other one we need is spacebar. Just done on that side, and one more screw now. There we go. So our stabilizers all installed. Time to put the plate in place and start installing some switches. And again, I'm going to go quite a speed here. I'm just going to try and be as super quick as possible, just so that we can get a little sound test in at the end. I can maybe push the end of the stream by 5 minutes or so. Honestly, can't wait to get the Kraze. It's going to be my first solder board, and I can't wait. Yeah, it's such a cool board. Okay, split ISO, so we have to rotate the switches here. Split left shift, sorry. And then of course we have full or stepped caps lock. We're going to go for stepped.
Incredible.
Incredible. Thank you, Loba, for the follow. I appreciate that. Do you think this PCB will work with the 910? There is a list of what's being tried for compatibility on the website. I have not tried it in a 910 at the moment, but I theoretically could, as I have a couple of 910s. If you'd like to see that, drop me a message in Ask Jay on the Discord server, and I will try and schedule that in for the stream on Sunday where we can give that a try. Of course, because we're building ISO, we have one less stabilizer today, which is always nice. The fewer the stabilizers, the better. Okay. Let's try and do this bottom row now. Okay, so these are inverted for this shape here. I think that's going to be okay without the. There we go. That too. In for spacebar. That one goes the correct way around. Cool. Try and pop these in without plate fork. Yeah, if there is any issues, it'll be the JST. I always think that solder sounds better Bazooka, but that's a personal choice. I understand that the vast majority of the hobby prefers hot swap, but I do prefer solder personally. Here's the rotation of the switch for ISO. Just going to make sure that's in properly. There we go. Now we've got plenty of switches in. I think I can do the rest without plate fork, just for speed. Or backspace. Okay. We'll need a few extra switches because we are using ISO, and that does use an extra switch. But I did drop one on the floor, so I'll be too short, I think. We can fix that very, very quickly and easily. I go solder if no ISO hot swap option. I mean, I prefer solder overall. I like the finality of it. I like the securing of the connection. I like the process of soldering. So that's why I tend to use that choice. But I understand that some people prefer not to. This might be the fastest build I've ever done on stream. Where did the switch on the floor go? Okay, we are one switch short, but I think I have a spare switch in here that will do the job for now. I do have another Torero switch, but again, just for speed, I'll put a pumpkin in there. There we go. That's a PCB and plate assembled in ISO layout. Let's get some keycaps on there. We can use the vast majority of the keycaps from the previous build. We'll just have to switch out the ISO keys. Don't need that. That's the first one that we need to change. That goes there. This might be the fastest build I've ever done. Sometimes solder is better clearance. If you want to go plateless, it's a more secure option. Absolutely. If you're going plateless, I absolutely think you should always go solder. I've never had a good experience of hot swap with a plateless build. Okay. Let's see how quickly we can do this. Okay. Don't need that shift. Okay, we're motoring along now. Okay, so there and there, and now we need the ISO keys, which are in this box here, I think. Yups. Okay, what do we need is split left shift on this first row. No, none of the IC keys in there. They should be in here. There's that key. There's that key.
Tasty,
Moons
tasty.
Vampire, thank you so much for 44 months of sub, Mr. Moons, and thank you for lighting up that pink rocket ship. I thoroughly appreciate you, dude. More than I could ever tell you. I hope you're doing well. Okay, and then we just need one more key, which is there. And boom, we have our ISO build. Oh, I pushed that one weirdly. There we go. So this is our ISO build that's now going to drop inside the case. I'm going to take our PCB snaps and put these on here. Help if I get these the right way around. Just going to bob 3 across the back. Just like so. Just in the interest of time, I'm not going to change the door-to-board cable. We will just assume for today that it works. Where's best to put that? I'm going to sit there. Nice. Put that one there. Okay, that's just our PCB snaps all in place. We're going to assume that that is all plugged in cable-wise, and let's drop the case in. Come. There we go. What did Alex do with the snaps? Look how good this looks. Looks so much better in ISO. USB ports nice and flush. I mean, obviously we haven't changed that. We will need to change it for us to finally test it. But let's zoom in and take a proper look. Look how good that looks in ISO. Upside down installed. They work both ways. So they're actually, it depends on what typing feel you want. I found that with the PCB snaps, because they're shaped like a H sort of shape, if you install them the correct way, which is with the gap at the bottom, hold on, this is going to be so much easier if I can get this out of here and show you. Oops. So, if you install them the way I've installed them here, that's the correct way. You can see this is how the PCB snap goes. So it's with the gap at the bottom. They're fine, but because the line is directly in the middle of them, you can install them the other way, but it feels a little bit firmer if you put them that way. So it really depends, but they do grip a bit better if you put them this way. He says, struggling to get it in place. I don't want quite that close to the space bar, so yeah, there you go. Okay, I think we do have time to quickly change over this. So let's change this over. This door board. I prefer the 4 reps Eamon at the minute. I think they're really, really good. Yeah, I've actually commissioned Signature Plastics to make the UK keys for this set as well for DCS panels. So I'll be making 10 of them. So if anyone does want a set of DCS panels, then that is something for the UK ISO key. So if you already have DCS panels and want UK ISO keys, that is something we can arrange. Because I say it was $30 extra to order 10 sets than it was to order 1 set, so I just ordered 10 sets. Yeah, like I did for Pepper Bait Moons. Like I wanted it, so I had a chat with SP and they were fine with doing it. So we're just going to replace this with, where do I put it? There we go. I do love the purple cabling on this, it's super nice. feed the cable through. And then we're going to use the same screws to pop this back in place. I meant for the UK ISO kits, Moon. Sorry, I ordered I think 5 of the, because that's all they had the material for Pepper Bait for the UK ISO keys, whereas I've ordered 10 for panels. But yeah, I know there's not many sets of Pepper Bait out in the wild. I'm not sure if it's stock colours or not, if I'm honest with you, Rugdush. Melissa didn't tell me, I didn't ask either. I just said, I want this, can you do it? And she was like, yes. Just going to pop the foam fillers back in place. I can pop this super cool base back on. Let me get it the right round. Yeah, there's only been one person taking me up on the Pepper Bait UK ISO keys, and that person was in France. So of the 5 sets that got made, only 2 have a home. One on mine, and then one for the guy in France, or girl in France. I can't remember who they were. But yeah. Yeah, DCS Windbreaker is cool. Yeah. There we go. Okay, so now we have the board all cabled up. This is a Molex connector, so it's slightly different to the standard JST configuration. Just gonna make sure that's correct, and that should pop it just like so. Just make sure our PCB snaps are in the correct orientation. Gosh, I'm not going off. Just like so. I want that slightly to the side of the space bar, and then we should be able to drop this into the case. Just like so. And then that should all now work. Let's give it a quick test. Switch hitter. Bear in mind, this is a prototype, so if this does not work, it's a prototype. The retail version will. Get the ding, that's good. We're on ISO. Okay, let's give it a test. It feels the same. Oh, I've got that key slightly stuck. Everything's working there. So what I've done here is I've just got it slightly misaligned, dropping the case in. I do know that on the final production version of this, you'll get a PCB snap for the sides as well. I've got this in the case just ever so slightly moved to this side, so I'll fix that in a second. Oh, the down key isn't working, so we just need to fix that. And that's not working as well. Okay, let me just move that across inside the case a touch. There we go. Okay, all working there. Just the down arrow and the yo key. That was probably because it's FN. Yeah, okay, so FN is working. Just the down arrow key. Let's have a quick look at that. Where did I put my tools? See if I've bent a pin on the switch or something, which is most likely the answer. And you can see the RGB is showing through as well on this, which is pretty cool. Nope, no bent pin. Maybe it's just a poor connection. Okay, so I'll have a look at that after the stream, and maybe just a poor connection. But the keyboard is fully working, and it's hard to show you. If I turn off the stream lights, you might be able to see the RGB glows. There you go. There you go. The RGB glows there. Cool. Yeah, it's a prototype PCB. It'll be something, or it'll just be in the software. I need to configure it. That's all. So there we go. Universal hot swap 65% with ISO trumps the connector annoyance for me. Yeah, I get it. I get it. We did hot swap 60% ISO PCBs. 65% and FRL TKL, so 70%, whatever you want to call them, and they just never sold. So hopefully there's enough of the market there now to get them to sell. You just flashbang yourself? I did, yeah. Let's see how this sounds. Let's see if it sounds as good. Let me pause the music for a minute. Let's see if this sounds as good as it did before. Sounds so good. So good. And it's ISO now. Even better than it was before. Man, Monaco Keys and Quark have knocked it out of the park doing this PCB. So yeah, so if you want to pick up an ISO version of the Kraze65, you can do so. You can order the bare bones kit, order the ISO PCB, and you get all of this ISO goodness, just like that. Super, super cool. Sounds amazing. The Torero switches are coming soon. They're in production right now. So yeah. I want to ask, if I wanted a really good TKL, is a G on F1 the way to go? I want a keyboard that looks a little prettier than the F1, but it's close in terms of quality. The F1s are a really good keyboard. There are a ton of really great TKL keyboards on the market. I have maybe 5 or 6 that I think are slightly better than the F1 in terms of like general things, but you are going to pay through the nose for them. Jane V2 ME would be up there. Sorry, CE, not ME, CE. The TGR Koala would be up there as well. I also really, really like the Matrix 1.2 OG. I think that is still unbeaten in terms of sound for a TKL. And there's a few others, but the F1 is a really solid board at that price point. There are always new keyboards coming, and there will always be new keyboards. And, you know, at the end of the day, preference is preference. So, yeah. Depends on what you like. If I were to buy the SF60HE and wanted more THOC sound, what would you recommend? I have a Keychron board. I did a few things to it, so I'm not completely uninformed. It really depends. So I would recommend changing the switches maybe to something that have more of a THOC-y sound. You can figure out from some sound tests what you might like in that kind of respect. You could also play around with foams inside the board and underneath the PCB. That will help. Sometimes taping the PCB or using a PE sheet underneath the switches also helps too. So yeah. The F1 is very nice, but the angle is steep. Consider what you would find comfortable as well. I think if you're going to game, the F1 is probably a little bit too steep for gaming for me. I tend to prefer a slightly shallower angle, but it's not a bad keyboard by any means. It's a very, very good keyboard. The Artifact Stratum 80, I mean, do you know that board sounds way better than it has any right to for the way it's designed. It's such a good keyboard. Such a good keyboard. I still have the prototype downstairs here at PT, but I do have to send it back very, very soon, which I'm kind of upset about because I will really miss that keyboard. But it is what it is. That's part of the streamer life. Part of the streamer life. Right, okay, so Kraze65, proof it works in ISO. It looks good. It sounds good. The ISO PCB works. And we'll try the ISO PCB that's in here in a TGR 910 or something else on stream on Sunday. But it should be compatible with the vast majority of cases out there. That's the reason why it uses the Molex connector rather than GST, so it's slightly closer to the PCB, so that shouldn't interfere with anything as well. So yeah. I taped the PCB on the Keychron and changed the switches and lubed, never again, which made a nice difference. Nice. Thanks very much for showing this off. The PCB is a great resource to have. I hope it sticks around. I mean, it's only going to stick around if people buy it, right? That's the thing with this hobby. If people don't buy it, it's not going to stick around. It's why we stopped doing the PT versions of PCBs because we just couldn't sell them, and it was just dead money, and a lot of them ended up in landfill, which is really sad. And when we did prototypes, we gave them out to people and asked for feedback, and then people just took them and never gave feedback, and it's really, really hard. So yeah. So please tell me I don't have to go through the aftermarket for these keyboards. I prefer not dealing with aftermarket. Want something new, considering it's a nice gift for myself. The Stratum 80 will be in stock once the group buy ships, which shouldn't be too much longer now. Another 6 months or so at worst. There is always new keyboards coming, always new keyboards being put in stock at different vendors around the world, including here at Prototypist Keyboards. So yeah, but the Matrix 1.2 OG, the TGR Koala, the Jane V2 CE, you are going to have to buy them aftermarket. There's some really old OTD boards which I would put above that as well. I'm trying to think what else. I mean, there's tons of really, really cool boards out there. It really depends on what you like. It really depends on what you like. Right, okay, I did the build, and I talked keyboards for 90 minutes, and I finished on time. That's quite possibly the fastest build we've ever done on stream. I did feel like I was rushing it a little bit, and I would like to have done new stabilizers or re-tuned stabilizers, but unfortunately we didn't. Thank you so much to Mr. Blackbird for gifting a tier 1 sub, lighting up that pink rocket ship for AS Canaris, and welcome to the SPC. You can join our Discord server and figure out what the SPC is just by making sure you've got your Discord and Twitch accounts set up. Do I do customer builds? Yes, you can do exclamation mark build, and there will be some details I think. Is that the right command? No, it's not. It's the wrong command. What's the command? What's the command? I can't remember what it is. Build service. That's the one. There you go. Exclamation mark build service. Those are the details. But yes, we can assemble keyboards for you. I have assembled thousands of keyboards, probably triple off stream what I built on stream, and I built way over 1,000 keyboards on the stream. So you can go back and check out how I build keyboards by watching. Cool. Okay. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I am going to have to end the stream here. I do have some people coming this afternoon that couldn't make keyboards and coffee this morning at the workshop, so they will be here this afternoon. So I'm going to go have to get ready for them. In terms of looking at the website, please do buy stuff off the website. Keep us going. We dropped GMK Noel R2, GMK Pompeii in stock this week, plus a ton of other things as well. Go take a look at that. There's some really cool group buys going on right now, including the Kraze, which if you were on the fence waiting for the ISO build, the proof's there. It works. Thank you so much. I love and miss you all, and I'll see you again on stream on Sunday evening. Take care, guys. Bye bye.